There's a lot of things that would have happened that I really don't want to get into right now. Just know that if Africa actually produced its own dollars, backed by its own gold, its own currency, its own natural resources, Africa would pretty much be the ruling continent, I guess. And they would actually have the power and the influence and authority to start to demand a fair price for just about all their resources that they have on the continent. And to make a long story short, we would probably be the ones that need rice flown over to us in airplanes for the next 6 months to 2 years to balance things out. And of course, America couldn't have that, China couldn't have that, and Europe definitely could not have that. So what did they do? They decided to, make a movie about Gaddafi, disinformation campaign, and eventually find a way to make him a bad guy and kill him and get him out of there. Wall Street couldn't have that. They would have banked Wall Street overnight. What will happen to the diamonds? Called blood diamonds. Now they would just be called diamonds because the people would actually get a fair wage for their work if they wanted to work. Like I said, a lot of stuff would change. These people being kidnapped and forced to work in these places. I better stop because, like I said, just know that a lot of things would have changed if Gaddafi would have, been successful at what he did. But instead, the United States had to go over and make him an enemy and, of course, get him out of there. And definitely look at the documentary on Gaddafi. YouTube it. You'll always notice that the people of Libya always backed him. Start to look at the Libyan economy. He had made sure that the government always provided, half their wages for or their tuition for college. Look at the economy of Libya before we went over there, and you'll notice that they were living better than us. But like I said, look it up. It's an interesting topic. All right, I'm sorry I went on a tangent a little bit. Let's continue to go. So if I were to sum it all up, we could safely say that Africa is a continent that does not need to go outside of its land for resources. In other words, the people living there have everything they need and want. Now, if we go ahead and just take some common sense walk through history, we'll always notice that a lot of people who have left their continent of origin basically did it to, for resources. We don't have enough something, so we're gonna go and see if somebody else has what we need. And if we need to fight them, then that's pretty much what we're gonna do. And if you notice that anytime, and we'll get into this next week, but anytime the Africans have moved outside of their continent, it was actually to share everything that they've learned and been blessed with. Whereas, certain other countries, it has not been the case for certain other countries. They have gone to war because of the lack of resources that their part of the land has or yields. And so, because of that, this is my little theory, hypothesis, or whatever. I basically say that your land determines how you live. And I think that makes perfect sense. So here's some more scenery. Another wow moment. Once again, the kids definitely enjoyed that. And the birth and the rise of the African. Often there's a common question, what are Africans really like? And we'll talk about that on our next video.